أفلح من صلوا على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي نور قلوب العارفين بنور معرفته
ما شاء الله
وأثبت فؤاد أنبيائه وأوليائه
سبحان الله
بقصص الأنبياء والمرسلين وأكمل إيمان المسلمين والمؤمنين بولاية علي أمير المؤمنين عليه السلام.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
والصلاة والسلام والتحية والكرام على أفضل الموجودات
سبحان الله
العبد المؤيد والرسول المسدد المصطفى الأمجد المحمود الأحمد أعني أبا القاسم محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
وعلى روحه ونفسه وساحره ووسيه سيد الأتقياء والأصفياء مولى الموالي إمام المتقين علي بن أبي طالب.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
وعلى أوصيائه لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين روحي وأرواح العالمين لتراب مقدمه الفدا واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد فقد قال الله الحكيم في كتابه الكريم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي ورضيت لكم الإسلام دينا. صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
First of all, Eid Ghadir Mubarak to all. You will excuse my voice. I have used it up for Ghadir. And I wish to use up my whole life for Ghadir. I've been asked to speak for 10 minutes in English and then transfer to Urdu, but I'll try and keep it all to English because I do see a lot of children. Probably they will not understand my Urdu. So I'll see how all of you can... I would let you be the boss today. Now, there are many scholars who dedicated their entire life for Ghadir. The likes of Marhum Syed Mir Hamid Hussain Musavi, who spent a lifetime writing the greatest and the longest book on the Vilayat of Ali ibn Abi Talib and Imamat and on Ghadir, called Abaqatul Anwar. Abaqa is the fragrance, and Anwar here is not the plural of Nur, but it is the plural of Noor, which is a white flower. When asked what white flower's fragrance are you talking about, he said the Anwar of Ahlul Bayt. So he named it Abaqatul Anwar. About 45 volumes on the Vilayat of Ali ibn Abi Talib. And you know what? He said, if life gives me the chance, I'll complete it. And when his son was asked, what black marks did he have on his chest? He said, because he was old and he could not sit up. So even at night, he had the book on his chest, was resting it, and was writing all night. So it made some marks on his chest. Mir Hamid Hussain Musavi. His son continued writing the book, Mir Nasir Hussain Musavi. And then a great scholar from Najaf went to Lucknow to see the book and then write his own book called Al-Ghadir. He named the book Al-Ghadir Fil Kitabe wa Sunnati wal Adab. I'll translate that into English. Ghadir, the incident of Ghadir in the book of Allah, the Sunnah of the Holy Prophet, and the literature of the poets. I'll need to explain it. So he named the book Al-Ghadir, 20 volumes, 11 are published. He spent 35 years traveling across the globe, visiting all the great libraries in the world, even in Al-Azhar, which was founded by the Fatimiyun, the Ismailis, and they had named it Jamiatul Zahra. Jamiatul Zahra. But later on, when the others took over, they changed the name from Jamiatul Zahra to Jamiatul Azhar, as they did not wish to have the name. Okay, yes, of course. Now, so he went to all over the world, compiling the book called Al-Ghadir. Fil Kitab, so he mentioned 7 verses from the book of Allah, proving Ghadir, and then Sunnah of the Holy Prophet, and Adab literature. You may have all studied part of logic. It has 5 reasonings, yes? Oration is one of them. Khitabat, poetry, Jadal, which is debate, Mughalata, fallacy, and Munadhara we've mentioned, and proof, Burhan. I don't want to make it too literary, but inshallah I'm not going to be too technical, but please pay attention. I have a point for the young audience. So poetry is one of them. Poetry is all about imagination. Yes? Poetry is all about imagination. Allama Amini says, I'm going to prove the incident of Ghadir through poetry. So they said, how are you going to prove Ghadir through imagination? He said, over 1,000 poets, not only Shia. Over 1,000 Arab poets have said something about Ghadir. Over 1,000 poets have mentioned Ghadir in their poetry. They couldn't have all imagined Ghadir. So something must have happened in Ghadir for them to say poetry about Ali ibn Abi Talib, Vilayat, and the word Maula. So something has happened in Ghadir. His literature, his work, made Ghadir being discussed in the literature, in the world of literature. Even the people who were not religious, they were not about Ahlul Bayt, but they were reading poetry. And they all started saying, what is Ghadir? Who is Ali? What is Maula? Even the Christians who were Arabs were discussing Ghadir, and they all said, something must have happened in Ghadir. And when the people were discussing Ghadir, Allama Amini said, I have proven my point. I have made my point because that's all I wanted. I wanted everyone discussing Ali and everyone discussing Ghadir and everyone saying something must have happened, and that incident is called Ghadir, which proves the vilayat of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Now, without going into the word vilayat, I want to discuss Ghadir. Very quickly, I'm going to go into Ghadir itself. And the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was given the verse, Ya ayyuhar Rasul, balligh ma unzila ilayka min rabbik. O my beloved messenger, deliver to the people what has been revealed unto you. Balligh ma unzila ilayka min rabbik. Wa in lam taf'al fama ballaghta risalatahu. If you do not, then you have not done any work of messengership. Is that sarcasm? Is that Allah telling the Holy Prophet off? Or is it that Allah is saying, if you do not deliver the vilayat of Ali, and Ali does not take over the religion into his own hands, then all of the hard work you have put in for 23 years will go in vain, because you need the strong hands protecting Islam. You need the hands that will protect the Holy Quran, the namaz, the roza, the hajj, the khums, the zakat, the jihad. The hands that have taken the door of Khaybar. You need the hands that will protect religion that are strong. So the Holy Prophet said, okay, I will announce the vilayat of Ali ibn Abi Talib, that Ali is Maula. So he said, to the Sahaba, he called Salman, Abu Dhar, Miqdad, Ammar, make a pulpit for me, make a member for me. So the Sahaba started gathering. Please pay attention to this word that I want to say. Sahaba all gathered. He said, make a member, make a pulpit for me. They said, Ya Rasulullah, shall we bring a member from Mecca? He said, I don't need the member from Mecca. They said, Ya Rasulullah, shall we go to Medina, which is further away, to get a member? He said, no, I don't want a member from Medina either. Make a member for me here in Ghadir. They said, Ya Rasulullah, how should we make a member? Open plains of Ghadir. Should we make a member for you? We would need to get one from Makkah or Medina. He said, no, I want a member here. I will teach you how to make a member. Please pay attention. The Sahaba, the companions who cannot make a member without the Holy Prophet. how can they make the inheritor of the member? The Sahaba who need the Prophet to tell them how to make the member, how could they make the person who inherits the member? Waris a member without the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, I will tell you how to make a member. And you all know that they took off the saddles from the back of the camels. The horses have saddles and the camels have a saddle, yes, which is made of wood. So he said, make a pulpit, a very high pulpit. So they made a platform. They said, Ya Rasulullah, is this enough? He said, no, I want a higher member. They placed more saddles on top of that. They said, Ya Rasulullah, is this enough? He said, no, I want a higher. There may be 100 people here, if I'm not mistaken, probably 150. You know, for 100 people, you need a chair. If I sat on the floor, the people will not be able to all see me. But if there were 1,000 people here, the chair wouldn't be enough. You would need a higher platform. I'm not sure if I'm getting across. But if there were 10,000 people here, that platform would not be enough. They would need a higher platform. But what if there were 100,000 people here? Or 124,000 people? Then you would need a very high platform for everyone to see what is happening. So Sahaba came and said, Ya Rasulullah, you always said, I want to be heard, not seen. I'm not sure people are here. You always say, I want to be heard, not seen. It is fine. If the people hear me, it's fine. I don't want to be seen, so long as they can hear me. Ya Rasulullah, why do you emphasize that I want to be seen here today? He said, because today is not to be just heard. I want to show. And people need to see. Hearing is not enough. I want to show someone. Ya Rasulullah, who is it? You will know in a moment. Just make a high pulpit. Do you know the meaning of Ali? The meaning of Ali is high. And the word is high. Maula is high. The Holy Prophet wants the pulpit to be high. So he said, make a very high pulpit. When they made the pulpit, the Holy Prophet said, let me go up. He went up and he said, call my brother Ali. Do you know the person who went to call Ali? His name was Salman. Now do you know why he's Minna Ahlul Bayt? Because he is the person who has the courage and the capability of calling Ali ibn Abi Talib. Ya Ali, your brother, Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is calling you. You see, all were companions. There was only one brother. I'm not sure if I've conveyed that. You know, all of the people were companions of the Holy Prophet. When the Holy Prophet came to Medina, he said, all the people from Mecca are Muhajir. The people in Medina are Ansar. I will make one brother of the other. So he saw one Muhajir, one migrant from Mecca, brother of one Ansari. Person from Medina. He said, you are his brother. He is his brother. He made all of the people of Mecca and Medina brothers to each other. And when there were not enough people from Mecca, he said all of the Ansar are brothers of each other. But there was only one person left behind. That was Ali. So a Munafiq came and laughed at Ali and he said, Ya Ali, you have no brother. The Holy Prophet did not appoint a brother for you. Imam Ali alayhi salam came to the Holy Prophet and said, Ya Rasulullah, you did not appoint a brother for me. He said, Ya Ali, I did not appoint a brother for myself either. Because Ya Ali, there is no one like you and there is no one like I. And then he said the famous hadith, Ya Ali, anta akhi fit dunya wal akhirah. Ya Ali, you are my brother in this world and the hereafter. There is no one like. And you know, when you go to Najaf, you will read, Assalamu alayka ya akha Rasulillah. Salutations be upon you, O Ali, who is the brother of the Holy Prophet. All others are Sahaba. Ali alayhi salam is brother of the Holy Prophet. I hope I have everyone's attention. Shall I continue? I promise I will not be too long. Now the Holy Prophet, you know, the companion Hazrat Salman Farsi radiallahu anhu went and said, Ya Ali, the Holy Prophet calls you. Imam Ali alayhi salam said, Ya Rasulullah, at your service at all times. He said, yeah, my brother, come up to the pulpit. The Holy Prophet was always alone on the minbar. Sayyidul Ulama says that this was the first time there were two people sitting next to each other on the minbar. The minbar was very high. The Holy Prophet was sitting and Imam Ali was sitting right next to him. So the people, Sahaba, were listening to the Holy Prophet, but staring at Ali ibn Abi Talib because they knew something is going to happen to them. This is unlike any other day. This is unlike any other event. The Holy Prophet is not just speaking. He has Ali sitting next to him. He gave the longest sermon of his life. You know, Nahjul Balagha sermons, the Holy Prophet sermons, they're not shortened. They're complete sermons. So the Holy Prophet sometimes only spoke for a few minutes. It wasn't a standard 1 hour speech. I'm not sure if I'm getting across. Yes? So sometimes, you know, just a few minutes, he gave a sermon. Imam Ali Islam just spoke for a few minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes. That's it. It wasn't like a standard 1 hour, I have to give 45-minute speech. Or 35 minutes a sermon.
I was waiting for that.
He said, it's a happy day. I'm not so I have the chance to say a few words. So the Holy Prophet did not speak for an hour, 45 minutes, 35 minutes, sometimes just a few minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes. There wasn't a fixed time. He spoke for as long as he wanted. Ghadir, he spoke, you know, when I was counting the lines of the sermon, over 300 lines of the sermon of Ghadir. The longest sermon of the Holy Prophet's life. And you know what? You have to keep in mind that the people are going back from Mecca. So they've all shaved off their heads. Open plains. Hijaz. Between Mecca and Medina. Heat. There were 2 types of heat. One of Hijaz. One of Wilayat Ali. So the entire Sahaba's crowd was sitting down, and when the people were returning, you know, the Holy Prophet said, anyone who has left Ghadir must come back. Anyone who is left behind, they have to approach to Ghadir. Ghadir was a junction. I hope everyone understands the word junction. Ghadir was a junction. You know, junction where the path go, when the paths are crossing, when the paths are dividing, when the routes divide. Some people continue, some people leave. That's a junction. Ghadir was not only just the junction for the path, it was the junction of Aqidah. Some were going to believe and some were going to leave. I'm not sure if the people are here. Ghadir was the junction. The Holy Prophet said, the people who have gone ahead, come back. People who are left behind must approach Ghadir. Even in that time and even today, some have crossed Ghadir and they've started saying, Ali is Allah. And some are left behind. They are saying, he is like us. The Holy Prophet said, let me tell you, Ali is not Allah. Ali is not like you. Ali is Maulana. I'm not sure if people are here. I will not explain what I've said. So the Holy Prophet said, the people who have left Ghadir must come back. The people who are left behind must approach Ghadir. Everyone must gather at Ghadir. Sahaba started coming back. Ya Rasulullah, we are with women. Some have their mothers, some have their daughters, wives, sisters. Ya Rasulullah, we have so many women. This is open plains of Ghadir. It is too hot. We cannot bear the heat. He said, doesn't matter. It is very important. Ya Rasulullah, how important? He said, وَإِن لَمْ تَفْعَلْ فَمَا بَلَّغْتَ رِسَالَتَهُ. Allah says, if you do not do this, you've not done anything. That's how important it is. I'm not sure people are here. Ya Rasulullah, how should we sit? He said, tell the women to sit on one side. All the men come in front of me. Ya Rasulullah, it's a huge crowd. He said, I don't care. We'll not be able to hear you. No loudspeakers, no microphones. I'm not sure if people are here. If you look at the history, Roman history, it says, even in olden times, one person would speak and a person with a loud voice, even louder than mine. They would repeat the words in a loud voice, and that's how the people heard. The Holy Prophet had a companion, A'la Sawt, who had a very loud voice. The Holy Prophet said, stand on that hill. When he stood up, he said, can you hear me? He said, yes, Ya Rasulullah. How clear? It has to be very clear. I don't want anyone confused. Ya Rasulullah, I can hear you very, very clearly. And the Holy Prophet did not speak like Ali Raza Rizvi. He did not speak fast. He spoke, you could count the words of the Holy Prophet. He said, repeat every word you hear from me. فَلْيُبَلِّغِ الْحَاذِرَ الْغَائِرِ. Anyone who is present must convey the message to anyone who is not here. He said it is wajib for anyone who is here. I'm not sure if people are here. The Holy Prophet said, فَلْيُبَلِّغِ الْحَاذِرَ الْغَائِبِ. Anyone who is present must deliver to anyone who is not here. Listen to my words. So all the Sahaba started pulling their, the Arabs usually have a cloth. Have you seen? Even men have a cloth on their head. So they all started pulling their cloth because their heads were bald. Long sermon. The Holy Prophet is standing there. All of them sitting down in the plains of Ghadir. Ya Rasulullah, can we leave? No, until I finish, you cannot. And he mentioned, I will have 12 successors. Ithna Ashar. He repeated it on and on. And he said, Awwaluhum Ali wa akhiruhum Mahdi. He said the name of the 12th Imam 3 times. So if a person makes a mistake, they hear it the second time, the third time. So the Holy Prophet started giving the sermon. Everyone was listening. And when this Sahabi of the Holy Prophet was repeating, the Holy Prophet asked a few questions. Shall I slow down? No. When I'm excited, my speed increases. And I want you to be excited about Ghadir. And I want all of you to be excited about Ghadir. And this is what you wanted. So the entire crowd is all about hearing what the Holy Prophet has to say. And he said, very soon I will be leaving this world. The angel of Allah will come to me. And I will say, Labbaik to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I need to deliver everything. This is my last moment with you. You all need to hear. So they're all listening to the Holy Prophet. And he asked a question. Have I not delivered the religion to you honestly? They said, Bala ya Rasulullah. Of course, ya Rasulullah, you have delivered every message of Quran. Have I not delivered the verses of the Holy Quran? Yes, ya Rasulullah. He asked a number of questions. Then he said, Alastu awla bikum min anfusikum? Do I not have priority over your souls than you yourselves? There's a verse in the Holy Quran that says, An-nabiyyu awla bil mu'minina min anfusihim. The Prophet has priority over the souls and the bodies of the believers than they themselves. I cannot harm myself, but if the Holy Prophet says, harm yourself, then it is not harming, it is ibadat. I'm not sure if people are here. If I decided to jump off that window, I may drop and I may break my legs. I may die. That is committing suicide. That is haram. But if the Holy Prophet ordered me to do it, then it is shahadat. I'm not sure if the people are here. And now don't care if the people are here now. I am in Ghadir now. The Holy Prophet ﷺ said, Alastu awla bikum min anfusikum? He asked the question, do I not have priority over your souls than you yourselves? Alu bala. Of course, ya Rasulullah, you have. He said, Ya Ali, stand up. The Holy Prophet stood up on that pulpit and he said, he held the hand of Ali ibn Abi Talib. The Holy Prophet is 63. He had a white beard, white mustache. The entire hair on his head was white. People thought he's elderly. He wanted to tell the people, the man who can hold the lion of Allah is not an elderly man. He wants to deliver. So he stood up. He said, Ya Ali, stand. He stood up and he looked at the crowd. He said, Inna Allah Maulaya. Indeed, Allah is my master. Wa ana Maula al-mu'mineen. And I'm the master of all the believers. And then said, Man kuntu Maula fahada aliyun Maula. He picked up Ali ibn Abi Talib and he said, whoever I am the master of, this Ali is his master. And the entire crowd started looking up. Which Ali is he talking about? They all had an idea. There could only be one Ali. I'm not sure if the people are here. Please, I want everyone's attention on this last words that I want to say about Ghadir. I have time. Probably another 5 to 10 minutes. When the Holy Prophet said, the whole crowd is looking, when you want to choose, even for the British Parliament, well, I'll not talk about British politics. I'm originally from Pakistan, so I'll talk about Pakistan. In recent decades in Pakistan, they said, well, you can't have everyone in the parliament. So people should have graduation. He said, why? He said, well, some sort of education is needed. You can't have people illiterate. I don't want to go too much into the history of the Muslims, what sort of people had succeeded. I've said a lot in that. You can censor it later on. But the people in Pakistan started arguing that we need some sort of education. Then shouldn't have criminal background. So some sort of clean past. I'm not sure if I'm conveying. There were quite a few conditions. Sadiq or Amin. That's what they've named them in Urdu in Pakistan. People should be Sadiq Amin. They should be truthful. The promises they make, they should fulfill them. And they should have a clean past. And they should have some sort of education. Why? Because these guys are going to be representing us in the parliament for 4 years. Well, from now, 5. Now, these guys for 4 or 5 years will represent us in the parliament. So they should have education. They should have clean past. No criminal background. They should not have any embezzlement. I'm not sure if the crowd is here. Allah is choosing His representative. We choose our representative for 4 years. We want education. We want conditions, no criminal background. If Allah wants a representative on earth, He wants Hujjatullah, Waliyullah. He wants someone to represent Him on earth. Would He not want ilme ladunni? Would He not want infallibility? He would want all the conditions that only Ali ibn Abi Talib had. So He said, oh my messenger, when I want to choose your successor. Allah chose the successors of all the prophets. And that's my question. If someone can prove me anything other than what I'm now saying, then I will go to his sect. Allah chose the successors of all the prophets from Hazrat Adam to Hazrat Isa alayhi salam. And now He wanted the successor of the Holy Prophet. The Holy Quran says, وَلَن تَجُدُ فِي سُنَّةِ اللَّهِ تَبْدِيلًا. You will never see a change in Allah's practice. If Allah chooses for Adam, Nuh, Ibrahim, Musa, Isa, Dawood, Sulaiman, then why would He not choose for the Holy Prophet? He chose for all the prophets. He would choose for the Holy Prophet. And if this is the best messenger, then his successors should be the best of the successors. If the successor of Sulaiman, Asif ibn Barkhia, can bring the throne of Queen of Saba before the blink of an eye, according to the Holy Quran, Surah number 27, then the successor of the Holy Prophet should have that ability, if not better. And that's why we say, that ayat says, Man kana indahu ilmu minal kitab. And the Holy Prophet's successor, the Holy Quran says, وَيَقُولُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا لَسْتَ مُرْسَلًا قُلْ كَفَى بِاللَّهِ شَهِيدًا بَيْنِي وَبَيْنَكُمْ وَمَنْ عِنْدَهُ عِلْمُ الْكِتَابِ. The one who has the knowledge of the entire book. And when the Holy Prophet announced, he said, no one can leave. When the Sahaba started getting up and said, Bakhin, Bakhin, laka ya ibn Abi Talib. O son of Abu Talib, congratulations to you. Why not Ali? Why son of Abu Talib? Because it's a tradition in the Arabs. If they want to introduce someone with that you have something to be proud of, they usually mention the family background. Even in us, we usually, when you say something to someone, they said, Maulana, please remember my father, my grandfather, they also contributed. Yes? My older brother, my mother, they were nice people. When in Arabs, they want to say, congratulations to you. If the family background is nice, they would say, your father was like this. So the Sahaba did not say, Ya Ali, Mubarak to you. They said, oh son of Abu Talib, Mubarak to you. Meaning Sahaba knew that father of Ali is worthy of mention. So they said, Yabna Abi Talib, Bakhin, Bakhin, Laka, Yabna Abi Talib. Asbahta Maulaya wa Maula kulle mu'minin wa mu'mina. You have become the master of every believing man and woman. So the Holy Prophet said, when the first person said at the front, said, Bakhin, Bakhin, and said, Ya Rasulullah, can we leave? The Holy Prophet said, no, you cannot leave until each and every person pays allegiance to Ali. You do not pay allegiance to your friends. You only pay allegiance to the master. Ali is not a friend, he is the master. The Holy Prophet said, until each and every person has paid allegiance. Ya Rasulullah, this is a big crowd. It will take days. He said, I don't care. Everyone has to pay allegiance. Ya Rasulullah, then you'll have to feed all of these people. He said, I will. Ya Rasulullah, how will you feed all of these people? He said, you can do nahar, slaughter my camel, she camel, and feed. Ya Rasulullah, one camel is not enough. He said, do you not remember? My uncle Abu Talib invited the whole of Quraysh, and he had one lamb which he had slaughtered, and all of them started fighting with my uncle. Oh, Abu Talib, you invited us with one lamb. Do you not know each one of us eats a whole sheep? I'm not sure if the people are here. Even if they could not finish it, because they were all tribal heads. We want a sheep to ourselves. He said, eat as much as you like. This lamb will not finish. They said, how? He said, because my nephew Muhammad touched it. He said, if my uncle can feed the whole tribe with a lamb, then this is my camel. Feed everyone, it will not finish. This is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's camel. I'm conscious of the time. The Holy Prophet said everyone will pay allegiance. Ya Rasulullah, which tribe will start? There are so many different tribes. And then he said the famous sentence, ladies first. The ladies will pay. Ya Rasulullah, how will the ladies pay allegiance to Ali ibn Abi Talib? So our Sunni brother said that Ali placed a cloth on his hand and said, he was in a tent, and all the ladies one by one came and placed their hands and said, we promise. 3 things they promise, and then 3 things Maulana promised. I will mention. And in Shia books, there was a utensil in front of me, in front of Imam Ali alayhi salam. He had, which was filled with water. He sat down on this side, placed his fingers in the water. The women would come on the other end, and then he came outside for the men. 3 things in Nahj al-Balagha. He said, anyone who pays allegiance, they promise 3 things. We pay allegiance to you. Number 1, we promise to obey you. Number 2, we will never plot against you. Number 3, we will never go to battle against you. Now do you understand why the Holy Prophet from ladies and from his own household? He said, the ladies of my household, my wives will start paying allegiance. In return, Imam Ali Islam says, I promise 3 things. If all the people say obedient, loyal, and do not go to battle against me and do not plot against me, then I have 3 responsibilities. I did the whole thing in English, sorry. Because there were so many young people, I couldn't transfer to Urdu. So 3 promises from my end. Number 1, I will guide you. Hidayat medun. I will guide you. Number 2, I will help you. Nusrat main karunga. Number 3, if you stay loyal to me, shafaat main karunga. I will intercede for you on the day of judgment. But remember, if you are ever disloyal to me, disobedient, and you plot against me, then I have the shafaat. You will only get shafaat when you have all of those 3 conditions. I'm not sure if people are here. I will do shafaat on the day of judgment. Allah has given me. Man dhalladhi yashfa'u indah. Who has the right to do shafaat before Allah? Illa bi'idhni. Except for the people who have the permission from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If anyone has permission, then Muhammad and Ali Muhammad have the permission. I will do shafaat. All the women paid allegiance. And the last thing that I want to say, I could go on for hours. I have read over 10 books on Ghadir, and it is my favorite topic. And it is a topic of Vilayat. It is a topic of Imamat. It is a topic of the Shia. The sign of Shia are 2 things, Vilayat of Ali and Masaib of Hussein. These 2 things, because we share all the other things with our Sunni brothers, the belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, belief in the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the belief in the Holy Quran, the belief in the prayers and the fasting, all of those are common between us and all other Muslims. But there are 2 exceptions. We believe in the Vilayat of Ali ibn Abi Talib and the Aza of Hussein ibn Ali alayhi salam. Imam Ali alayhi salam came out of the tent and started taking allegiance from the men. Do the men now want to know how to pay allegiance to Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam? Let's renew our bay'at. It is a day of renewal of our bay'at. Tajdeed ahad hai. Covenant with Ali ibn Abi Talib. Our bay'at with Ali. He came, and there were 4 people. They said, Ya Ali, because you have to take allegiance from so many people, we have made a small tent for you. Hazrat Salman made the tent. Hazrat Abu Dhar brought a red carpet. I believe probably it is Mubahala and Ghadir where the red carpet treatment started. He said, Ya Ali, this is for you. Hazrat Abu Dhar. These are the lovers of Imam Ali. He placed the red carpet. And now you can start. Hazrat Ammar, Hazrat Miqdad, they all came and stood. You can start taking bay'at. Imam Ali said, you can all come and pay allegiance. He stood. And there were some people talking to each other. You can imagine All sorts of people talking and said, well, what has happened has happened. So one said, oh, did you pay attention? He said, what? He said, did you see that Ali's hand, the palm is not towards the sky, it is towards the earth? He said, no, I didn't pay attention. He said, now look. He said, yes, Ali's hand, the palm is not facing the heavens, it is facing the earth. He said, let's go and report to the Holy Prophet. Ya Rasulullah, we saw with our own eyes. Ali's palm is not towards the heavens, it is towards the earth. He said, now that I've said Ali is Maula, do not complain about Ali ibn Abi Talib. Speak to him directly. So they both came out and said, who will ask? He said, well, you ask and I'll help. He said, Ya Ali, your palm is not towards the heavens, it is towards the earth. Can I ask why? He said, because I'm not asking for bay'at. I am taking the bay'at. मैं बैअत मांग नहीं रहा, मैं बैअत ले रहा. बैअत मांगने वाले और हैं, बैअत लेने वाले और. I wish I had time. He said, Ya Ali, can you prove it? So the Holy Prophet in Ghadir, what he had said? Lahmuhu lahmi. His flesh is my flesh. His blood is my blood. His hand is my hand. I'm not sure if people are here. I'm ending. Please look at the last words. So he said, the Holy Quran says, Inna alladhina yubayi'unaka yubayi'una Allah. Yadullahi fawqa aydihim. Oh my messenger, the people who pay allegiance to you, do not pay allegiance to you. They pay allegiance to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ali's hand is the hand of the Holy Prophet. And the Holy Prophet is the hand of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So they are not paying allegiance to Ali. They are paying allegiance to Yadullah. Yadullahi fawqa aydihim. Allah's hand is above all hands, not below the hand. He said the Holy Quran says, Inna alladhina yubayi'unaka yubayi'una Allah. Yadullahi fawqa aydihim. And that's how. When 3 days passed by, and everyone left happily. But they did not live happily ever after. So they all left happily. They were happy to leave. 14 people remained behind. And they had tears. They were crying. And when everyone, usually when you have weddings and you have happy occasions, people usually leave. But the close family members stayed back to clean up, to look after you. I'm not sure. Is it not common? Yes. So everyone left and 14 people remained behind. And when everyone left, one of them stood up. His name was Salman. He had tears in his eyes. And he said, Ya Ali, people till today had everything in their heart. Now they will bring it to their tongue against you. Vilayat Mubarak. Because he knew what is going on. The second man, Abu Dhar, came and dropped on the floor, started kissing his feet and his hands. Imam Ali picked him up and embraced him. He said, Ya Ali, till today people were hiding their grudges. Now they will take it out. Vilayat Mubarak. Then Hazrat al-Miqdad. These were the true lovers. They knew what it means to say, Man kuntu Maula, fahada Ali Maula. You have to be strong to bear the consequences of saying Aliyun Waliyullah. You will see the consequences in Iraq. You will see the consequences in Afghanistan. You will see the consequences all over the world. When you say Aliyun Waliyullah, then you have to be firm. Ali was a mountain, and the believers have to be at least strong stones to be able to confirm that they believe in the vilayat of Ali ibn Abi Talib. I'm not sure if the crowd has grasped probably the gist of the message that I wanted to convey. Let's pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Oh Allah, for the sake of your Ali, for the sake of your Wali, accept the... Okay. उर्दू में आप कहेंगे तो उर्दू में पेश करें। ऐज़ान गिरामी, शायर ने बड़े प्यारे अंदाज से कहा है, अज़्म कीजिए रास्ता मिल जाए। अज़्म कहते हैं इरादे को। When you have strong intention, उसको उर्दू में कहते हैं अज़्म। शायर कहता है अज़्म कीजिए रास्ता मिल जाएगा, सिलसिले से सिलसिला मिल जाएगा, मुर्तजा से मुस्तफा तक आइए। मुस्तफा से नहीं, मुर्तजा से मुस्तफा तक आइए, 2 कदम चलिए खुदा मिल जाएगा। ऐज़ान गिरामी, بہت زیادہ وقت نہیں لوں گا. برادر نے کہا کہ تھوڑا سا چلیے اردو میں پڑھ دیجیے. پیش کر رہا ہوں. پوری دنیا میں جناب امیر کے ماننے والے بہت تھے، لیکن سلمان کوئی کوئی ہے، ابو ذر کوئی کوئی ہے، مالک اشتر کوئی کوئی ہے. عزیزان گرامی، چاہنا زبان سے اور ہوتا، دل سے اور ہوتا. جس کے دل میں علی ہو وہ میثم تمار بنتا. حبیب خدا نے کہا تھا، یا علی مثلک فی امتی کمثل سورۃ التوحید، یا علی آپ کی مثال میری امت میں سورہ اخلاص جیسی ہے. سورہ اخلاص کے متعلق جانتے ہیں نا، ایک مرتبہ پڑھیں تو 1/3 قرآن پڑھنے کا ثواب ملتا ہے، 2 دفعہ پڑھیں تو 2/3 قرآن ختم کرنے کا ثواب ملتا ہے، 3 دفعہ سورہ اخلاص پڑھیں تو ختم قرآن کا ثواب ملتا ہے. توجہ عزیزان گرامی، جو زبان سے علی کو مانے اس کا 1/3 ایمان مکمل ہو جاتا ہے. جو زبان سے بھی مانے، دل سے بھی مانے، اس کا 2/3 ایمان مکمل ہوتا ہے. جو زبان سے بھی مانے، دل سے بھی مانے، پورے جسم سے علی کی راہ پہ چل پڑے، صرف وہی مستکمل الایمان ہے. آپ ہی نے کہا تھا اردو پڑھیں. عزیزان گرامی، ایمان کے لیے ضروری ہے کہ انسان کے صرف نگاہوں میں علی نہ ہو، زبان پہ علی نہ ہو، بلکہ دل میں بھی علی ہو. جب تک دل میں علی نہ ہو کچھ بھی قبول نہیں ہوتا. آخری جملہ کہہ رہا ہوں، جب دل میں علی ہوتا ہے نا تو چہرے بتا دیتے ہیں، چہرے بتاتے ہیں اس کے دل میں علی ہے. جانتے ہیں محبت چھپا کے چھپتی نہیں ہے، لفظ چھپ نہیں سکتا. اگر کسی کے دل میں علی کی محبت ہو چہرے بتا دیتے ہیں. ساری عیدیں چاند دیکھ کے ہوتی ہیں، عید الفطر چاند دیکھ کے، عید الاضحیٰ چاند دیکھ کے، عید غدیر چہرے دیکھ کے ہوتی ہے. یہ عید غدیر ہے. عزیزان گرامی، جو چاہنے والا ہوتا ہے نا چہرہ کھل جاتا ہے. جو زیادہ چاہنے والا ہو آنسو بتاتے ہیں یہ سلمان کے راستے پہ ہے، کوئی ابو ذر کے راستے پہ ہوتا ہے. عزیزان گرامی، عاشقان امیر المؤمنین کہیں پہ بھی ہو، نام آئے گا تو ان کے چہرے بتا دیں گے، دل بتائے گا. ایک آخری حدیث سنا رہا ہوں حبیب خدا کی. آپ نے فرمایا النظر الی وجہ علی عبادت، علی کے چہرے کو دیکھنا عبادت ہے، علی کے چہرے کو دیکھنا عبادت ہے. تو ایک مرتبہ کسی صحابی نے کہا کہ یا رسول اللہ وہ جو بعد میں آئیں گے وہ تو علی کی زیارت نہیں کر پائیں گے. تو کہا ذکر علی عبادت، علی کا ذکر کرنا بھی عبادت ہے. توجہ، چہرہ دیکھنا عبادت، ذکر کرنا عبادت. کہ اچھا اگر ذکر نہ کر سکیں پابندی لگ جائے، کہاں پابندیاں لگیں گی؟ حب علی عبادت، علی کی محبت دل میں رکھنا بھی عبادت ہے. بھئی ایک ہی ہستی ہے، دیکھنا عبادت، ذکر عبادت، سننا عبادت، محبت عبادت. جب اہل سنت کے علماء کو میں لے کے گیا تھا نا نجف، تصویریں موجود ہیں دیکھ لیجیے گا آن لائن، تو سارے اہل سنت کے عالم، تو میں نے کہا نہ آپ قرآن پڑھ رہے ہیں نہ کوئی ذکر کر رہے ہیں، بیٹھے ہوئے زری کو دیکھ رہے ہیں. کہ رسول خدا کی حدیث یاد آ گئی تھی، النظر الی وجہ علی عبادت. میں علی کو نہیں دیکھ سکا، زری کو دیکھ رہا ہوں. عزیزان گرامی، علی کی محبت دلوں میں ہو تو راستے آسان ہو جاتے ہیں، مشکلیں آسان ہو جاتی ہیں. آئیے ذرا مل کے دعا کرتے ہیں. پروردگارا تجھے تیرے علی کا واسطہ، بانیان جشن کے، شارکین جشن کے، مشارکین جتنے بھی شرکت کنندگان ہیں، پروردگارا سب کی دعائیں مستجاب. پروردگارا بہت سے میرے بھائی بہن یہاں بیٹھے، سب کی کوئی بھی مراد ہو، پروردگارا جب تو علی کے صدقے میں دیتا ہے تو تو کوئی چیز رد نہیں کرتا. آپ نے جو مانگنا ہو مانگ لیجئے گا. جب انسان علی کے ذکر کے بعد کچھ مانگتا ہے تو رد نہیں ہوتا. ہاتھوں کو بلند کیجئے گا. پروردگارا تجھے واسطہ تیرے نبی کا، تجھے واسطہ تیرے علی کا، تجھے واسطہ سیدہ کا، تجھے واسطہ حسن کا، تجھے واسطہ حسین کا، کسی کی دعا کو رد نہ فرما، سب کی دعائیں مستجاب فرما. پروردگار سب کی عاقبت بخیر فرما. کورونا وائرس کا خاتمہ فرما. پروردگارہ اس گھر میں اپنی برکتیں رحمتیں نعمتیں نازل فرما. اس گھر سے ہر پریشانی دور فرما. سب کی دعائیں مستجاب فرما. ہمارے جتنے مومن مومنات مریض ہیں سب کو شفائے کاملہ عاجلہ عنایت فرما. بے اولادوں کو اولاد عنایت فرما. اولاد والوں کی اولاد کو نیک و صالح بنا. جتنے ہمارے بچے بچیوں نے امتحان دے رکھے ان کو ان کے امتحانوں میں کامیاب فرما. پروردگارہ جو ہاتھ بلند ہیں کسی کو رد نہ فرما. سب کی دعائیں مستجاب فرما. ہم سب کو ہمارے امام مولانا آقا صاحب الزمان علیہ السلام کا ظہور دیکھنا نصیب فرما. ربنا تقبل منا انك انت السميع العليم بحق محمد وآلہ الطیبین الطاہرین المعصومین.
اللهم صل على محمد.